What's up, Rockstars? I have a cool little indie game here I'm excited to show off. This I backed quite a bit ago, and I'm excited to actually get some game time in. I think my son will really like this one, and it's just kind of nice to get a box that seems at least semi-manageable. This is the game in here, so let's go ahead and dive in. Alright, now anytime that I can give a shout out to an indie, I am all about that. I think that's awesome. I love giving them some time on the channel that they don't have to pay for. That always kind of helps. So this is the Night Cage Shrieking Hollow, which is the second one of these, I believe. So I think they had a campaign, and now they... Whoop, that's a pop. And now they have this one here. And again, I am excited. So that's it. We got the Night Cage. And then the new expansion, Shrieking Hollow here. So yeah, very cool. Let's go ahead and start with the game proper. Take a look at this. All right. So, oh, I heard something moving. So right off the bat, you can kind of see, you play as these like candles. And, or like you move around with the candles, and that like provides the light. And these are the different paths you can take and stuff like that. And this tower of tiles that you get from is really cool, and you got the keys here. It seems like a really one of those games that are just fun to play and really easy to teach. And that's kind of the hope here, is that this is a game that I can just table and have some fun and enjoy without it, you know, breaking the bank, without it breaking my shelves, without it breaking my time limit. Yeah, so pretty excited with this. Look at that, 50 minutes. Play this in an hour. That sounds awesome. So right off the bat, I can say that, first of all, it looks beautiful. Like, that's just an awesome art. I love that it's really just dynamic on here, plus the title and the cool font. A little bit of a question, but otherwise there's not a whole lot of fuss on it, right? And then it's really just in the back that you, and sides that you get like a bunch of the stuff. They do have the dice learn to play kind of thing, which is pretty cool. So they did some good effort on that front as well. Flipping things over, I will say this is a lighter cardboard that I'm used to, but this is a lighter box as well. And in fact, as you can see, it's actually kind of empty-ish here too. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or not, but either way, nice glue job. Everything looks fine here. I don't see any damage or anything like that. It's just, again, a little bit skinnier than a lot of the other ones I unbox. Now the sides look incredible. Love that. That's super cool to see. All right, that's fun. Skip the rule book. Oh, I do like that idea. Okay, it's hard to... So, there's many reasons why I don't like a rule book that is square. First of all, it's just more awkward to read and open and stuff. It's often a little bit more floppy. There's a little bit more weight on the side when you do that. It's farther away typically from where it's bound. But also, they do it to fill up the box, which is great for shipping. But not really great for, like, getting the darn thing out. I gotta do that just to get this silly thing out. So, yeah, I mean, do you see how, like, floppy this is? I'd rather it be a little bit thicker and be like that, right? More like a normal rule book. I actually prefer that. I always just feel also that when it's opened, like on the table, if I'm playing the game, that it's just taking up more space, or at least it's harder to do because it's taking up a wider space, and I read this way, versus having a vertical, kind of like putting your computer monitor vertical versus horizontal, right? Like it'll seem to take up less space because it's taking up the vertical space versus the width space. To get this in front of me here, it takes up this wide versus, you know, this wide. Anyway, you know how I am. Love that it starts with an overview. Looks very thematic. Looks really cool. Very easy to read. I see different color fonts and stuff here. I like the table of contents with the count and a picture and the title. That's very nice. Starts with setup right there. We're going to skip back to see what's on here. So we have a kind of a game flow reminder. That's kind of nice to see. And then no index. So it should definitely have an index. Now, it could be a little bit farther in, but typically I like it at the end, just so I can read in alphabetical order where everything is for quick and easy lookup. At the end of the day, we got 19 pages of technical documentation of the inner workings of the mechanics of the board game, and ideally it's easy to reference with an index. Love the dirge eye moth, you know, kind of owl thing going on there. That's super cool. There's a soundtrack. That's really neat. I didn't know you could scan on Spotify. I don't use Spotify, but that's awesome that they can do that. That's pretty cool. I dig that. Advanced game. Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything around a index, which is unfortunate, but that is what it is. In fact, is there a table of contents? Is this the first one I've seen that doesn't even have a table of contents? That's kind of interesting. You know, when you get these indie games, you never do know. Yeah, so there's not even a header-based table of contents, which is kind of interesting. So again, it's not a super advanced game or anything like that. And as you can see, even though it's 19 pages, the font's pretty big and everything. A lot of examples, even like art and stuff like that. So I'm going to assume that it should still play relatively painless, but it does mean that if I ever shelve it and play it again after a long time, I'll probably just have to reread the rules versus just be able to look it up real quick. That being said, the Diced might mean that, hey, we don't care about the rule book because just go look it on Diced, which might be what I do. All right. And just to know I spend a lot of time on rule books, but the unboxing experience is the very first interaction I have with any game, including the Night Cage, right? And then of that, before I play the game, my first experience is with the rulebook. In this case, it might be Dice. But the point being that if the unboxing experience wasn't super great, or if the rulebook wasn't super great, then I already have kind of a negative connotation before even playing the game. And I think that actually causes some people to not even play games. Let me know if you've ever had experience like that, where like, just between the storage, between the rule book and all that, you were fed up with it before you even played it. That'd be kind of interesting to see. I don't know if I've ever hit that point, but I know I've gotten close before. Okay, so we got some bigger cards here. Let's take a look at that. And so far, like I said, the unboxing-wise, besides taking out the rule book, which was hard, it's great. Like I said, I love this side here and stuff. It's been very, very pretty. I appreciate that. And that packing slip in there, I went ahead and took it out, even though it doesn't have any personal information on it. But that's really great to see. Your turn, your space, your turn or stay. So these are different colors, and I don't know exactly what that is. If it's just your turn to move. So I'm wondering if this is just per player. This is like a player rate, which is kind of cool. And it's even color-coded, which is neat. I like that. That's kind of, I dig that. I dig that. Very customized. Actually, I bet it is, because see, here are the meeples. So again, it'd be custom per person there. The blue and the purple's a little close to me, to what I can see, but I am a little colorblind. I get that. And the red looks a little more brown than I would have liked, but still overall cool. The yellow and the blue, and then to agree, the green are by far the brightest, that's for sure. And we do have some keys here, and I'm kind of excited to look at the keys. I want to zoom in just a little bit while we look at this, just so it's more visible. These are heavy, they're metal. They remind me of like Peter Minis, actually. It's like a metal. It's like a metal casing, so you can see the mold line there, right, all across. But honestly, the bone key looks great. I think it came out really well. And this is exactly what I would expect from a board game. It doesn't need to be something super fancy. It makes a nice little clink sound. Thankfully, you only get one, because if you get more than one, you're going to get somebody doing this during the game and not even realize they're doing it until you yell at them to stop. You know how it is. If you play with anybody like that, leave a comment down below so we can all like it and appreciate the fact that we too play with somebody, or are that person that fidgets with parts of board games, especially if they make noise. All right, we got some cardboard here. The cardboard is very firm, very, very firm. It's not really squishy at all. It's not really flaky that I can see. Some slight, so on black often you can see this, right? So it will show a little bit of wear and tear as you play with it. Not that this is being moved too much, but if this becomes your favorite game of all time and you're playing it all the time, you might eventually start seeing a little bit of wear on that. That's kind of why I look at that, especially on a black. The art style, by the way, I do really enjoy. That is such a fun art style. Very cool. And I love seeing the art come full circle, so it's actually a real component. It's like I actually have that. It's right here. Anytime a board game does that, I actually get a little tickled. I think that's awesome. Got some baggies, probably for the punch out here. That's appreciative or appreciated. They do have a hole, which is also nice, so they won't puff up with air or anything like that. So the cardboard I do forgive, making it a little difficult to come out, just because this is a one-time thing, right? I'm going to punch it out and then it'll be done. Let's take a look to see how it punches out. Seems to punch out just fine. Really good, actually. I'm not even really seeing much semblance of a tag. Just teeny tiny little bit there, teeny tiny little bit there, right? Just a little bit, but overall, it's actually really good. They are double-sided, but they do have different sides. And again, they will show that wear and tear as you play, at least on the back end. Pretty typical, but something that I kind of like to look at. Very thick. Again, the same as this. I guess not very, very thick, but quite thick. Thicker than some. And like no give at all. Like no give at all. So that seems to do good. I'm going to do a reverse punch out just to see. Again, also came out just fine. No peeling or anything like that. I would say this is pretty good. I like that they all connect, by the way. So as you can see, you get quite a few here. Quite a few. Some more special ones. So that is all of the cardboard there. Now we have the tower. Let's see if I can't put this together real quick. And then it looks like we have a little bit more, including this, which is just fun. That's just fun. I dig that. It is not linen. It is a little shiny, maybe a little bit more reflective than I would have liked. But again, as you can see, I have quite a bit of light focused on this. I think in normal circumstances, this is like my room light. And as you can see, there's not really a glare or anything like that. So it's just these lights for filming. So a little unfair to them there. And actually, I think some linen have a lot more gloss than that. Otherwise, this is punching out just fine. Just fine. Yeah, it comes out great. Okay. Just going to move that over here and punch this out. Let's see if we can't build this in real time and get this all set up. So again, punches out great. Really impressed by that. Now here I'm going to try and punch this out. Not the easiest to punch out. Pretty tight, but it looks like it's coming out cleanly, which I appreciate. That is not always how these work. Sometimes it bends or tears. There's a tiny little overcut on each one there, so you kind of see the teeny bit of overcut. That's very typical because I want to make sure that they cut it. It's just barely visible, nothing too bad. And like I said, incredibly common because the alternative is that they don't quite cut all the way through. And at that point, it's definitely going to break when you try to punch it out. So you do not want that. I have performed surgery on stuff like this before where I've had to open something up more because it was too tight, stuff like that. And an X-Acto knife works just fine on that, but it is certainly possible. So there's a little bit even here. That's it. Oh, that went flying. Went flying. All right, so far, this is quite painless, which I appreciate. This is like not when I come out. This is really stuck in there. All right, got that, got that. Got this one. Yeah, so far nothing broken, everything fine. This will be fun. I'll put some tiles in here or something, show it off to you guys. Make it worth your while. I think it'll look cool. Love the candle theme to it. There we go. Okay. All right, so that is everything. So my assumption here is this is the back. This is the front, and it goes like, well, like this. Even the inside, which is kind of cool to see, is you can see the little empty wick here in the smoke trail. That's really cool. I actually like really dig that. I think that's awesome. Okay, another one here. So you start out kind of high, and then you have to kind of lower this, which then allows you to push this in, which then allows you to lower the whole thing, theoretically. Here we go. There we are. Okay. And this is kind of cool. I'm assuming it goes this way, I would think. It's actually kind of hard to, like, maybe it goes in this way. I mean, I think it can go in either way, but I think it might make sense to have the little bit of the wick at the bottom, right? Would be my assumption. Though this This fits that really well too, and you do see it on the side there. So I'm gonna leave it like that. But oh no, maybe I think this is like the bottom of like a holder. I do think it goes like this. I think that looks visually better, at least from the outside. There's a little bit of scuff here, but again, you're gonna be putting this together, so not too bad there. There we go. All right, that is the table. Let me zoom back out a little bit for you. There you are. That's kind of cool. Oh, you know what? I think all in the... Okay, so see, I think I did this wrong. That's all the little things, huh? Go figure. Okay, that explains why it doesn't look quite like... This is not double-sided, FYI. Alright, now hopefully that still looks okay. Now this is definitely cool. This almost seems like it's too fat or something. Like that works fine, but this not wanting to go in there. Oh, things are going so smoothly. Let me try the other one first and see if that... Yeah, see, that one goes in just fine. Putting it through the ringer, guys. There we go. Okay. But this one, for some reason, I think this has gotten a little inflated there is all. And this can happen, especially after multiple iterations of... Come on, just get in there. There we go. I really force that one in. There. All right. That's better, guys. Boosh. Okay. This is the candle. That looks much better. And then that's the inside. So it lowers as it... I love it. I think it's awesome. So you can even see the outline of the candle there and there. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Let's get a few tiles real quick just to play around. Okay. Because I'm weird though, it'll be facing the same way. Okay. And that would go like that. I'm assuming in the back of all of these, there is definitely room to, that they all look like that on the back. And you never know what you're going to get on the other side. But either way, plenty of space for that. That's pretty cool. You just take them out, top to bottom, right? Just like a candle. I dig it. Okay. Last but not least is the game board. And then look at the back there. That is just cool. I dig that. Okay. Now this, just going to clean up slightly. I'm going to have to fold this out. So there are two boards here by the looks of it. There's the night cage here. Zoom all the way out. I think that is zoomed all the way out. Let me raise this slightly just so you can see. There you go. Okay. So that is the game board. This is where you'd be playing on. I think it looks great. I love the keys here and here. We got the north, south, east, west. So really, you would probably want to look at it kind of like this. If you're at least playing from one angle, right? Because then you have the north and the south here. Then you can figure out east and west from that. Now there is something on the other side, and I don't know if it's the same or if it's different or what. Looks like it's the same except in a different language. So that's really the only difference there. That and the different language is, I think, on the folded back, and it does have a little bit of a copyright here, whereas this one does not. But very minor there. Otherwise, folds good, looks good. Again, double-sided. Yeah, happy with that. That looks cool. And that is it for the main game. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Shrieking Hollow. And let's see how this pans out. All right, so again, obviously the base top game looks great. Love that. Same size, just a little bit thinner than the main game here. You can see all the ad stuff that it has here as well. Looks like, again, they have dice and whatnot. I don't believe this is standalone. I do believe it builds on top of the rest of the game there. Okay. So, it does have some shiny kind of UV bits here, which is kind of cool. I thought this was like maybe water, but no, it's actually still just bits of it there. So that shiny is really cool. I do dig that. I think it's awesome. Okay. Here we got the rule book again. Come on. Okay. And probably mostly the same thing here. I don't know if it's an updated complete rule book, but I think it's just the added part. It looks like that's all it is there. That being said, it is pretty significant in what they're adding here. We do have some more cards here, and some more reminder stuff. It looks like this could almost fit into the base game though, which will be awesome, and then just get rid of this whole box. Okay, now we do have some cards here, so let's take a look here and see what we have. There we go. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Not easy open. But then again, are they ever really hard? Maybe when I open them up, they are. All right. Come on. Almost. There we go. Okay. Got it. So in the back, we have Night Terrors. We have whatever the heck these are. And those are the two things. So let's go ahead. Take a look at these first. We got Blindfolded. Again, the art looks fantastic. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. So we're just looking at cards here. Cave In, Clump of Wax. And again, all of this is very easy to read, which I really appreciate. Coward's Key, Desperate Decisions, Flint Shard, Leap of Faith, Memento Mori, Scrimshaw, Stone Crown, The Bribe, Trail of Teeth, and Tuning Fork. Sounds lovely. And then for these, the Night Terrors, we have the Dirge, Endbringer, Keepers, Light Eaters, hate those guys, Pathbreakers, Pathless, and Pit Fiends. Oh, no, thank you. All right. So that's that. Now this is a fun board here. It's one-sided. It is textured on the back, which I actually feels really good. But it looks like it's pretty tight here. So it will be kind of like that. Let me zoom out again. Oh man, this is, there you go. This kind of sits on the side, I believe, and you can literally like fall through here and try and get out or whatever as the thing comes and gets you, which will be super cool. So let's put that to the side and see if we can't find it. Looks like most everything else. Oh my gosh, look at that. Freaking sweet. Amazing. Okay, for a lot of these, again, they're just the normal tokens, just like you saw before. That's really cool. Dig that art. Again, awesome. Here is the main guy, but then we also have this thing here. So let's pump this out, and that out. So we have level 1, level 2, and level 3. So I'm assuming it goes kind of like this. Which is just crazy. Now, I believe this literally gets like and moves up or whatever, right? Which is kind of cool. So I think it starts here, right? And then as it goes, you add to it. If there's one thing, and again, I haven't read the rule book yet to really define, but some guiding lines here would have been a little nice. I mean, obviously dual layer board even better because then it would really fit in there. But it's still easy enough to push through. But it is a little loosey goosey, right? So just those lines I think would have helped. Either way, very, very cool. Looks incredible. Looks awesome. Love it. And guys, that is it. That is the expansion as well. As you can see, you have these bosses here, right? Pathbreaker and Light Eater and stuff like that. So it just adds to the base game. Adds those cards. Very cool. All right, I'm going to figure out how the heck I play this and play it. I'll let you guys know what I think. All right, see you guys. Bye.